main purposes. One, death comes because of sin and the disobedience of man. In Genesis 2, we see that God explained to Adam, you can touch every tree in the garden, but there is one tree that's in the midst of the garden that I have chosen you not to touch. Isn't it amazing about people when you tell them not to do something? They go and do the same thing you just told them not to do. So sin, the purpose of it, and death comes because of sin and disobedience. The second one is a sign. Death comes because of a sign. We notice in the book that Moses was declared to let the people go. And God given him all sorts of signs, and all things came, and bugs and flies and all sorts of signs. But when death came, that was a sign that Pharaoh realized God is trying to get my attention. And when he found out his firstborn son had died, it changed Pharaoh's heart. Isn't it amazing how when something died, people get in a place now they want to get close to God? But if you notice that everybody get close to God during the time of the tragedy. But soon as things cool off, Pharaoh said, why did we let him? Soon as he buried his son, he thought, why would we let them people go? In other words, we're having a tragedy right now, but some of you still gonna drink, drug, and do what you want to do after the funeral's over. But when mother died, I needed the Lord. But when everything cooled off, oh my God. Could I preach it the way I see it? It's just like some of us that used to drink. Long I was throwing up, I said I won't drink no more. But soon as I sobered up, I was looking for some Hennessy or some E&J. Y'all ain't messing with me. I said, soon as I sobered up. The third purpose of death is sacrifice, which the Lord has demonstrated it to us. At Golgotha, the place of the skull, which you call Calvary. He demonstrated death was a sign that somebody had to die for somebody to live. There's always a purpose behind death. But when we notice that when death came, it has a powerful effect on people. Anytime somebody died, a person that was mean and ugly and crazy, I'm talking about, man, you couldn't get him to cry. But when death comes, now God, death will make a grown man cry. Death will make a man that has been to prison 5 times get on his knees and call on Jesus. It's something about death. It'll humble you to a place where you know I need God. We notice here when Israel was led by a man called Moses, but in Joshua 1, when Moses died, it affected Israel to a degree that they stopped moving forward. They stopped making progress because death can get a hold of you. I don't care who you are. You can be saved, sanctified, anointed. But when death hits, I'm telling you, something get a hold of you. you. And Joshua had to experience death with Moses. And God came to Joshua and said, Joshua, get up. Look at somebody and say, you need to get up. Here you are, serving the Most High God. And now that my servant Moses is dead, guess what? As I was with Moses, oh, y'all listening? As I was with Mother, I will be with you. The same blessing that was on Mother, the same blessing will be with you. He said, get up. Tell your neighbor what they're feeling now. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, praise it, because you're still alive. It affected Joshua to where he began to put down his sword and he put down his mantle. And God had to remind Joshua, even though my servant is gone, mourning is not the problem. Mourning is not the issue that God, it's when we begin to mourn too long. God didn't have a problem with them crying and understanding that Moses was a good man. And God didn't have that problem. But when they started mourning too long and wasn't making any progress, that's when God said, wait a minute. That mourning has gone to a place where your pain is greater than your God. Now listen to this. So your pain is greater than your God. In other words, your God should be greater than your pain. My God, if I can get somebody shouting in pain, if I can get somebody to rejoice in their pain, if I can get somebody to say, hallelujah, in their pain. Y'all sit down, y'all making me nervous. I'm about to finish. And then if we notice, it's not about the emotion that death has, because we notice in the scripture in John 11 that even when Lazarus died, and they went to Jesus and said, go get Jesus and tell Jesus Lazarus is sick. And it's amazing how we get into a what, when, and why. Because when this was God said, no, this happened, that I can be glorified. Y'all listen. So he said, I'm going to delay my coming. But when they said Lazarus was dead, and because Mary was acting so stupid and crazy, and everybody cried, and you got Jesus started crying. You got Jesus started weeping. You got the who you will, you get around enough crazy people, it'll make you crazy. I said you get around enough crazy people, or you know you don't got crazy. And the Bible said Jesus wept. It was a groaning on the inside that bothered Jesus. And now I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who I'm preaching to. But sometimes when it can be 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years. But when you think about somebody that you love and they die, it's like a weeping and a moaning on the inside. You can't explain it, but it's something that get a hold of you. Could I preach it now? So here is David. Y'all sit down. I'm about done. Here is David. Weeping for his unborn son. David has emotionally got tied and taken up because he don't know the difference between purpose of death three purposes of death was to shine, sin, and sacrifice. But David, being a king, had everything. I'm about finished. Y'all ain't going to shout in a minute.